Hello everyone. Very happy and honored to have two special guests with me. These are Laura Mendes and Luisa Cardenas, who in a moment will be introducing themselves more in detail. Together we will be talking about a very inspiring topic, and that is women entrepreneurs. And women entrepreneurs, the two ladies with me, they are. And they will be sharing inspiration from their businesses, also the way they grew to women entrepreneurs of the 21st century, and we will be discussing that in relation to one of our EU-funded projects, funded by the European Commission, on women entrepreneurship, empowering women to start their own businesses and to sustain them further. The project is called We Get, and now to the core of it. First, let me ask you to introduce yourselves. Lu, please.
Thank you, Lilia. My name is Luisa Cardenas. I am from Colombia. I'm a videographer and I've been in the industry for e-learning and development for 8 years now. And right now starting my own business for as a videographer in the Netherlands. So really excited about it.
That's fantastic. How about you?
Well, my name is Laura Mendes. I'm also from Colombia. And I'm starting a project about crafting and storytelling. So its name is Craft Telling. So it has two different parts. The first part is products handmade. So I create products with crochet and embroidery. And I want to call them collectible products or products to connect. So they can be as an amulet or as a company, let's say. And the other part is more into community building. So I'm inquiring on how to build or to create spaces to have better conversations with each other and using craft as the main, but craft, they make the art or the act of making things. So that's the main thing in the table, and we can have different kind of conversations to that.
All right, that's very inspiring and interesting, but could you share a little bit how you got to that idea? Let's say, was it because of your background? Was it something that you came across and saw a need for? What was it behind that triggered you to start such a business?
I started with crafting before coming to the Netherlands during Corona time. So I didn't know what to do with my life, so I started crafting during isolation. And then when I came here, I realized that was something that made me feel well, and that connected with everything, connected with my country, with my family, with people here as well. So I used it during my studies here. I did Imagineering in the Netherlands, which is a business or social innovation program. So I started using it for everything, for my presentations, for everything, to go around, to talk to people, because I'm also shy. I used to be an actress before, but that doesn't make me be outgoing. So yeah, I used craft to do that. And I started to understand that it is very helpful for everything. So that's why at the end, for my graduation project, I did everything with craft and with this building community idea.
And now it's becoming a business.
And now it's becoming a business.
This sounds really inspiring, but I'm triggered by that. You are a Colombian who moved to the Netherlands and made a decision to start up your own business. Was it already an aspiration of yours while you were still living there, or is it the environment here that boosted this creativity to be unleashed?
I think it's a combination of both. I really wanted to start something by my own, and I think it's something about a nowadays thing. So we want to be independent. But in Colombia, I felt it was a little bit difficult. So when I came here, I realized that it was more doable. And also with the studies that I did, the knowledge that I was going through was helpful.
Thank you. How about you, Lu? Because you have been a videographer for quite a while, and professional one, also with plenty of successful projects. So when coming to the Netherlands, was it already something that you thought, all right, my background allows me to also tap into that field here? Or is there something else next to it which made you go for entrepreneurial career?
Well, I really have to think it through because I always had this dream of having my own company. I worked for different companies in the past, but it's not easy. And in Colombia, it's not as easy. And then I came here and I found like the ground is more solid, and then the connections are made faster. And then sometimes you feel like the networks allow people to grow faster and to navigate within the industry a bit faster. Like connections are not that far away, and you can reach out to people, you can talk to people, and I think it's a great environment, and it really, also from the government itself, it is like pushing you to be an entrepreneur itself.
All right, and does it make a difference? What do you both think? Being a woman entrepreneur versus being a man entrepreneur? Have you felt it already being different?
I think it is. I was talking with a women entrepreneur in the creativity industry last time, and they said, here in the Netherlands, yes. And they are all internationals as well, so they said, it's difficult to be women, it's difficult to be in a different country, so we have two already. And then we are creative women. So we have three different things that are very bad, like in all sense. And even when the world have more power right now, talking about women, it's not the same. So we need more support, like a community feeling or a community support to feel that we can have voice.
Okay. And do you have the same feeling? Because craft, creativity is really something which goes beyond the tangibility we are used to. It's not like, for example, producing something and you can see this product being alive. It is really touching upon these soft skills and competences of people that they relate to. But with videography, you are busy with that creativity as well, but then what comes to the surface and what you produce as a service is also in a way tangible. Do you feel a difference? Is there a difference between the way male or female entrepreneurs would do that and would experience it?
Well, it has two phases, I guess, because there is this cultural setup that is being, I think, built in the Netherlands to build more equity, let's say. So people are really striving to overcome this feeling of, okay, let's treat her as is different as this other person. But of course it's different from country to country. It's really different. It really is based on the person itself. So you can find an Italian person who comes to you looking, I don't know, different at you as from a French person. So I don't know, it really depends on the people from my experience right now. But of course, sometimes I struggle as a woman because people doesn't believe in me as being short as I am. And also they see like, can you carry a camera even? So sometimes it's really this struggle of, hey, I am a professional and I need to show you my reel and I need to show you how professional I am in order for you to trust and believe in me. Of course, it's different if a man comes along in the same way, presents to a client in the same way. They will lean towards him because of his presence. So I would have to come with my reel with, okay, I am professional, and talk to them like 2 or 3 times to really convince them that I'm the right person for the project.
A lot of difficulties. And despite these difficulties, I'm sure, because you are now standing in front of me talking about your businesses, your enterprises, and they become viable. So there has been some kind of a small spark or a trigger which, despite all the struggles, you decided to follow and to become entrepreneurs. What was that? Maybe Laura.
I think this idea of independence and follow what I really like to do, because I feel sometimes that I don't have a place, so I need to make my own place. So I think that's my how do you say?
The drive.
Yeah, the drive, what moved me, yeah, drive. So, yeah.
It's really beautifully said. How about you, Lou?
Well, I can relate to that as well. And also, I feel like sometimes as a foreigner, I bring a different perspective to some things. So I nail things in the way that my client doesn't expect it, and they get surprised. So this is the moment when I say, yes, I can bring something new into the table. So yeah, it really keeps me ongoing.
Great, this different perspective, this new touch. Fantastic, fabulous. All right, now that you have shared a little bit of yourselves and of your enterprises, it will be interesting to go back to the We Get project, to the project that is really having this objective of sustaining, empowering women to build upon their businesses, to start them up, or to see a different future for the way that they have been doing it so far. And you have seen these modules a little bit more to the scrutiny of them. Which one of these modules would you say, yes, that could be a good one to start up with when deciding to start up a business? Which module could you say, yes, that is the one that really is fascinating for me to learn more from? And which module would you say, yeah, that one, once you have been a little bit further, is the one necessary to go through?
I think depends on the person, on the stage of the project, because for me it's very useful to use to start from the first module that you have there, that is the self-awareness. So then I can understand what I really want, because I don't trust myself too much, so I need to push with something else. But it really depends. It worked for me, but someone else could be really on that stage, so maybe go to research or go to what is happening in nowadays, or so I think it really depends.
Right. And at the stage where you are now, and you have gone through this self-efficacy, self-awareness, what is it then the next step that you think I need more learning on this part?
Business, definitely. Yeah, how to plan everything and to go through it.
Okay, so both strategy as well as operations.
Yeah.
Okay, nice. And for you?
Yeah, for me, even I was really aware of myself. Like before, I had built a career in videography and all of that. Self-awareness was really eye-opening for me, because knowing what my strengths are also allows me to perform better and to bring to my clients something like, this is my value. This is what sets me apart from the rest. Really going into this refreshing image of myself brings me not only like more confidence, but also new strategies for marketing as well. And then this is the other of the modules, like how to marketing, how to come out there. And of course, well, now with the digitalization and everything is digital, before it was like mouth to mouth, the way I was working back there. But now with the change of country and everything, I really need to rely on these new tools, because my network is really, let's say, empty. So I'm starting a new network, and these tools allow me to go there. So in this module, I could also like spot new ones, and that was really a game for me, let's say.
All right. Would you advise other women to follow these modules, and why?
Yeah, I will advise, because there are a lot of tools that we can use, and we were talking before this that we can do with them whatever we want, whatever we think we need. So they are really useful if we are in any stage of the project, any questions we have, then we can relate to that. So yeah, it's a helpful toolkit, let's say.
Yeah, absolutely. For me, it's always a good hand to have a partner or somebody that mentors you in the way, because it's maybe a new industry or a new country or any new landscape. We are having this new project, or being an entrepreneurial women out there. So yeah, of course, any hand is always needed.
When you were starting, and that was not in the Netherlands, I mean here you kind of tangibilized your ideas and you transformed them into enterprises, and for you, Luisa, it already started in Colombia. What would you have wished for at the moment of your startup phase to have had in terms of knowledge that was not at that time provided, but you could now maybe sort of see within these modules, or you still believe more has to be provided? What was it that you were missing and thinking, I wish this knowledge was out there?
Well, if I may say, self-awareness was really, as I said before, sorry for repeating myself, was eye-opening for me. I didn't know many of my strengths and the way others look at me. So this was like awakening for myself. This is the starting point.
And you?
Yeah, I think same. It's the strongest one, because the others you can have in some different places. So you not every time have combined business with self-awareness. So I really appreciate that. It's like, okay, this has to be together. So it's really cool.
How about change management? Because change management and creativity, they have become not only within this project, but also within other frameworks really dominant, let's say, on the market of new entrepreneurs, on the market of learning and education. What would you say is in such modules that a woman entrepreneur can gain a lot from?
Well, right now I'm working for a big company, aside from my entrepreneurial project, and we're working in some change frameworks. And in this module, I could see a landscape of all of the different frameworks that are out there. So it was really intriguing to go into this. And also I found it helped for my life as well, because one of the change models talks about, well, I mean, all of them talks about change in general. But I could transpose it to my personal life, as I am changing from country. And now this zone of nothing is happening until everything is changed, because you have this departing point, and then you go through this zone that nothing is yet quite or here or there, and then you have like all of this sense of, okay, where am I going to, and I feel uncomfortable with this, but then how to control these emotions or how to drive them. So let's acknowledge these emotions and just drive them and accompany them within yourself and also with your employees until you are there in the point of, okay, the change is implemented, and then we need to just continue doing it, because then you have like your life settled. In my personal case, I have a new apartment, I live in a new city, and now my business is running, and everything where I can grab onto is there. But then until I am there, I am in this zone of uncertainty. So this model really helped me like to be aware of my emotions and acknowledge these emotions in the people as well, as we are humans and we deal with this every day. So I think that was the most powerful thing from that module in specific.
That's very important what you say. And if I understand it correctly, you're basically saying that in that module and also in the module of the self-awareness, you did not only find models and theories, but you found application which you appropriate in practice and it works. So that is actually maybe one of the powers, if I read correctly your words, of what you have just been provided with. All right. Then maybe Laura, because now we spoke a bit of the change management and its relevance, and of course I'm curious to hear your opinion now we are in the 21st century. But also since your business is a creative business and very much touching upon this verge on creativity of a new century, of a new way of perceiving, of a new way of connecting, was there something in the module relating to creativity that you could recognize as something that you could bring into your own enterprise?
Yeah, I think how to connect with business and because sometimes we think that they are totally separate worlds, and this bridge is difficult to create. So I think that's helpful. But also, if you may let me to change a little bit on the models itself, but talking about more the project, the whole project, I also think that is very important that we are there because we are supporting each other and we are connecting to each other. We are not working alone. So I think that's the most important part when we are an entrepreneur person, because we think we can do it by ourselves and we have everything and blah, 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 but it's very difficult. And as women and as an international women, we need support behind, and I find it there in that platform. So I want just to highlight that part as well.
Excellent, thank you. Okay, so you spoke of something very inspiring, and that's communication. That's the language of it all. The visibility of who you are as personalities versus what you come across the audience with your businesses. And communication is part of the modules, a very prominent one. And as well as digitalization. What do you think about connecting communication and digitalization? Would that make sense as a new type of a module? Or do you see still these two frames as two different ones?
Well, I think each topic should have their own space because they are too broad, even in the other models as well. So even when we have them both separately, then we will need more time to go in depth on that. We can create, yes, a connection, but I still think each topic has their own soul, let's say.
Okay, that's also very good what you just said, because then having the space of having these modules separate allows maybe for each and every woman entrepreneur going through them to find its own way of connecting and relating to them, and then making the combination that would fit.
Yeah, and I think also we want all the time to have a lot of information of everything, and we are just keep jumping around different topics, and we cannot just stop and think and understand one in depth. So it's nice that we have the connection somewhere, but it's also nice if we have the time to go through it.
What's your opinion on that?
Yeah, absolutely, because it really depends on the entrepreneur project. It really depends on the person itself. So, as Laura is saying, it really demands a lot of space for each topic, and also it is good that we can find our ways through it. But of course, for me as a videographer, every channel would work independently from each other in a different way. So for instance, I would go to LinkedIn as a channel in a different way. My communication would be different as I do in Instagram. But that would work in a different way for me as a videographer as for Laura that she's working with craft. So it's really depending on the project, I would say.
And now, coming to a closing remark. You have gone through these different modules. Your companies are alive and out there. what would be a tip that you could give to a future woman entrepreneur who would like to go to the platform of We Get and go through these modules and see the world anew?
So with no doubt, I would really say to the people, just embrace it, embrace the whole program, embrace every module, go through every link, stay curious with a growing mindset, because it really is powerful, all the content that is in there. And I could really find some treasures in these golden nuggets, as we would say, going through the links and then the link to the link and trying to be more curious, because then you will find like a lot of resources for yourself.
Thank you. And for you, Laura?
Yeah, go in depth, for sure. And also connect. I'm sticking with this idea of connectedness and how important it is to have others. It's not just the platform itself and the tools, but also the people who are behind that. So we can create a network that we need, and also the support that we need when we are starting, because when we start something, we don't know anything, so we need somewhere to start.
Thank you, thank you. Really great. I believe your input will be very much valued by the women entrepreneurs who would be certainly connecting to you as future mentors, who knows. And at the same time, what you just said, yes, behind such a project, there are people. There are women and organizations of women. So it starts with accessing content and going in depth, but at the end, it gets to human connection. So this is the motto behind empowering women entrepreneurship, and let us wish for more to start and for more to become sustainable. Thank you for this.
Thank you, Lilia, for inviting us.